How are we doing Chicago Age? We did
Yeah.
Breakthrough Broker last time,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Forgive me.
And I've got you as a co-host, so you should be able to share.
Okay.
There you go.
So, can you all see my screen?
Yes. And guys, I got to tell you, I love this program. This is the best thing since sliced bread. I mean, it's just,
It really is.
yeah.
So, the Chicago agent. So I don't know if you all like. Diane was saying she used it when it first came out, and they are truly. I mean, it's top of the line. It's so wonderful, and they're always updating and creating more content. So this was just a
Can
net sheet I just did.
I want to add to what she's saying. Don't forget that anytime you list a house or you work with the buyer, you are required to run closing costs and you are required to have the client sign it. So it's when you do a listing, you're supposed to do a net sheet for them when you're doing the listing presentation.
Right.
And not do it after you get the listing. You're supposed to do it so that they understand exactly where their finances are.
Right, and what it entails, and like you said,
Yeah.
especially if you have a seller, and they're saying, "Look, this is what we need to make
Mm-hmm.
on this house," and of course, if they've never sold a house before, and they may not, realize everything else that is involved in the cost. So this was one I did today for one of my agents, but I'm just going to jump over. I'm going to go right to the premium section because this is really where you get more bang for your buck. I think I told y'all it's $10 a year or $1 a month. And you can see, I mean, they have just updated this thing and it is amazing. It is amazing. And so so you can see the layout. If you've used it before, you can see, I mean, it's changed quite a bit on here. They're always updating their infographics, the lenses, which is just, really fun and cute in a way to make you stand out.
Oh, I didn't know about those.
Oh, yeah, the lenses.
Yeah.
Okay, so your lenses, okay, you can do this on your phone. You can either take a picture with the lens or you could upload the picture later. And what I'm showing y'all, I'm on my desktop, so it may look a little different on your phone, but not too much different. So now they've got everything specifically for social media. They've got it all sized. You don't have to think about it anymore. And so now I see they're putting out their Valentine's lenses already. And so they have lenses so my dashboard will look different than yours because I'm going to have the rep lenses on there. And so this will be something for me to advertise. They do every season and all this kind of fun stuff. So
Isn't that cute? Enough room for the children.
Yeah, they do all the little cute little cheesy sayings. And so this was all, of course, like I said, for Christmas. So in you name it, Valentine's, St. Patrick's, they're going to have a filter for everything. And they've got it for sellers, buyers, open houses. I'm all about real estate, all that kind of stuff.
There you go, Jessica. I'm all about.
I'm all about real estate. So again, you can take the picture with the lens or you can upload the picture. And they've got little cute stuff on here for COVID too. They, all that fun stuff. So again, this is what you get when you do your little premium. And the most important thing I like about it is just because you can brand it with all your information. That's what I really, really like. That makes it so neat. Oh,
That's awesome.
Here she goes.
Oh.
So, and here's again, you can see just listed, open house, remodel kitchens, I love referrals.
Hey, Tracy, do me a favor and go back to where the closing costs are, because I'm going to tell you, they actually struggle with that. And the one on TA, or the one on transaction desk, which is a part of TAR and HAR, is not as user friendly as this one. And this one, you know, I keep telling them that this is a no-brainer. This is, you just, I mean, it's such a no-brainer.
It's
I'm just like,
because they put everything in there for you. So of course, yes, everyone wants to know, you know, what is it going to cost? So you can see right here, our fees vary from whatever transaction it is. Sometimes cash, refinance, seller, it'll vary. So we'll just put in a house. Say they want to put 10% down. And you see how it's got everything over here already computed. Easy breezy.
Maria, do you see what I'm saying here? How, because Maria struggles with, she really likes to get everything perfect. And I keep, you know, I told her that this is, it doesn't get better than this.
Yeah, this is like a no-brainer. You don't even have to think about it. And then once you calculate it, you can share it to your customer, and then it does it like this. It will generate a nice little worksheet for you. So this is something you can put into your presentation for them. And again, it's got it all in there. You can email it, download it, print it, and you can put it on social media. This is just this property that was in Spring. It's just pulling that address because that's the last one I did.
And you can amortize, you can do amortization schedules for people. I mean, this program is amazing.
So is that 25,000 plus the 1,000 at the bottom
So it's saying for what right here?
for cash to close?
So this was, yeah, the 250,000, and then there was, they put 10% down, and it's just saying this was the loan amount.
Okay, and so you'll bring 25,000 plus the total closing costs.
Right,
Okay.
right. And of course, well, then it all depends, yeah, on who, is it your buyer, is it your seller paying for the closing costs? So, and of course, you know, everything's negotiable.
Yeah, and you can go in and you can adjust all of that, Jessica.
You can adjust all of that. So I'll go and I'll show you where it's at. So we'll go back on our calculator, and when you, so if you're working with a buyer or a seller or, you know, what have you, when you go in, let's see which one.
Do the seller to net.
Okay. There's always a little toggle right here for you, and you can go in and you can edit all this stuff. Like we would take this out because our courier fee, our closing, our escrow fee, everything's lumped together. Everything's lumped together except the recording fee, because it varies on how many documents, how many pages it is we have to record. So the recording fee and the tax certificate, but everything else is lumped together. So if they don't have a home warranty, if they do, you can go in there, you can take that out. You can add in whatever it is you want to do. Maybe they're not splitting the escrow fee. Maybe the seller's doing everything. You can just go in and change it.
And you can change those prices, like on the home warranty, you can make it $600 if you want.
That's right.
To keep it at what, you know, what it defaults to.
That's right. And it does, it just automatically defaults to that. And see, now it's mad at me because I said I wanted to add something, but I don't. So in anything over here, see how the defaults, I don't know, maybe you're feeling generous and you're, you know, not going to do 3%. Maybe you're going to do 2% interest, everything. You can change all that. Long terms, PMI, I mean, we don't have any control over that, but you know, that's through the lender. I typically don't like to step on the lender's toes with these calculators. I will I send this to them, a lot of them, and I show them this. I said, you can go in here and do whatever you want to. You can change whatever, but yeah, I just try not to step on their toes and mess with anything. And then there's the proration. So HomeLink, that's where it's pulling the taxes from. Now it's pulling taxes, and it is automatically estimating the loan balance.
Wow.
Yes, and the one I just did. So she gave me like the loan balance was like 124, and I think they had it at like 125. I mean, it was, yeah, it was pretty awesome. And then of course the prorations. So HOAs, don't we love them? And you can go in here and change. Like I said, nothing is set in stone. You can change whatever it is that you need to change. And again, see how it pulled this information. That's how it got all the loan balance and stuff right here. So you can go down there, it'll pull that if it's just, and it was just really, I really didn't have to adjust it because it was such a minor difference. You can change that as well.
I got a question for you. On the taxes, since it's pulling tax information in there, if somebody has an over 65 exemption, will it pull based on that exemption, or will it just pull on the regular amount?
So that's what it's going to pull, and that's when my escrow officers have to step in.
Okay.
Because they're the ones who they'll do those prorations for you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask me to do it. I'm not, but they will do the prorations for you, and we have to tell them. A lot of people, that they're looking at what the taxes are with that exemption, and we have to remind them over and over.
Right.
Right now, especially, it's time to file your homestead exemption. And if you have that over 65 or any of those exemptions, you better, they're going to know.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to know. And then, you're going to be crying. And that's one of a title company. I think I've said that to y'all. That's one of our biggest losses.
Yeah.
Is taxes.
So that would be one of the things that you would want to definitely check and then go in and adjust. Mm-hmm. If you're working with somebody who's got an exemption, you want to go in and you want to change the taxes to the percentage of the full amount versus with the exemption, because they're going to lose that exemption when they close.
They most certainly are. They're going to lose. And again, I know some they've actually tried to just keep it.
Yeah.
No.
We'd all like to do that.
Yeah, we'd all like to do that, but no, they're not going to keep it for you. So again, you type in the property address up here, and it's going to pull that information.
That's amazing.
And it creates, these nice little worksheets for you. And see right here. Did you pay to escrow? You can click on all this stuff. Detailed closing costs. You can see all these things. And again, this is where you can go in and edit if this is not right, accurate, because it's just going to pull the standard what we have it to.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. And when you say you want to, so we'll compute, and you say you want to share, it gives you different options as well. So here's one. And now mind you, again, you can, this is new. You can change the colors. This will be your information down here, not mine.
Okay.
The only thing you'll see right here, taxes, fees, and rates provided by Chicago Title. So all your information will be down there on the bottom. And I just love just the different options that you have. And again, if you want to share it on social media, you can do that right from here.
That's awesome.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It is a really, I've seen some other apps And once I started, when I was able to have access to palm agent stuff, it's pretty incredible.
Jeez.
Let's see here. So this is just some of the ones, and you can save your estimates in here as well. You can go back and look at them if they say, I never got it, da da da, all that fun stuff that we hear all the time. Multiple offers, which is really a big thing right now. So let's see, you can put them in here and they can see them side by side. So do our 1, 2, 3 happy lane. Right. And then you can go in here, okay, maybe they've got an all cash offer. Their offer is, $275. Option fees, $200. Earnest money.
75.
Yeah, you can do all this stuff on here.
Wow.
Add the offer, then add another offer, and just go over and over. And then, okay, yeah, you have to add more.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's neat. It's really neat. So, well, now let's go. They said 265. Maybe their option fee, earnest money. Maybe they wanted to do more. Who could know? Maybe they'll do more. Maybe they said they can get to the closing table faster. Things like that. And you can just go on and on and on and on. And then you can view them all side by side. It'll just print everything out for you. And then you can send, if you've got 4 or 5 offers, you can send that to your seller.
Oh my goodness.
They'll all be side by
That
side.
looks good. That's nice.
This is pretty neat. Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice. And it's easy, to see it side by side like that on paper.
Right.
Maybe they don't, they're not offering as much, but we can close faster. And so it just whatever it is that works for your consumer. If you're working with buyers, there's a rent versus buy calculator. So maybe they're doing FHA, maybe their rent's $1,000 a month, and they're looking at a house that's, who knows? Well, this one's saying break even, but it, you can put them numbers in there and create things for them, and so they can see their equity, just everything. You need to be, selling, you need to be, buying, and if you were wanting to sell,
break even, but at the end of it, yeah, you break even, but you own one of them and the other you don't.
Own one of them, but you own one of them. So,
Tracey, can you go back to the payment tab?
Calculator?
Please?
The payment calculator?
What happened? It was the rent versus buy
Okay.
on the over there on payment. Oh, on the cost. Sorry, yeah, on the cost you had. Sorry.
That's okay.
So that's for 1 year, right?
1 to 10, yeah, 1 year, 10 months.
1 year and 10 months. If they buy the home, they've spent the $21,000. If they've been renting, it costs them $22,000.
So they're kind of breaking even, but that's, like you said, the first 1 year, 10 months. After that, it's gravy.
What if you put in the 200,000 on the home price?
Right, and you can, and there's another one on here too, I'll show you, that I really like.
Click on that equity tab too.
Okay.
Oh, wow. 2 years.
Okay,
it
so what
breaks
it's
even.
saying is it would take 2 years and 2 months on
Break even
rent
from-
to break even. Okay, got it.
That's super cool.
So here's the equity. Now, after 2 years and 2 months, it's telling you.
You've got $31,000 in equity if you put 15.
And you can slide too.
Wow.
So you can change that, you know, maybe they want to be in this house. You can slide the numbers. You can as well.
And that's based on the sales price. No, they did put appreciation in there. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
So
appreciation.
is that including the tax and stuff like that?
So that's one thing I'm not sure if it, since we didn't put a property address in, we can go look and see.
Because, you know, that'll make your payment higher.
I'll make your payment higher. Let's go down here.
It looks like it is.
Yeah, it is in there.
Wow.
It's all in there.
Principal and interest and
And again, these are things you can adjust if you need to. Oh, that was neat. So it's explaining to them about your taxes and savings. So,
Well, once you get to learn this program, man, it would make you look like you're smart.
and it makes you look like you have got it all under control. That's right.
Yeah.
You got it going on. I don't care if you're, you know, an experienced agent or a newer agent. If you get in here and really, you know, use this tool, it'll work wonders for you. It'll work wonders for you. Let me go back. So then there's a monthly affordability calculator that I like as well. So for people who, again, you know, your first time buyer, let's say, yeah, they're like, $1,200 a month. It's all I want to do. You know, let's go with these interest rates are so good now. Let's, you know, go 2.1 and their terms, and we'll just leave this as it is. So it's going to tell them this is how much house you can afford. If you want your payments no more than $1,200, this is what we need to be looking for, no higher. That makes it easy for you. It makes it easy for everybody involved.
Exactly.
This is it. Now, you know, if you are thinking that's a stretch or you're saying, no, we can go a little higher. Okay. And they're like, okay, well, no, we can actually, yes, we can do $1,400 a month. And you compute, and like you say, you see all the taxes and everything. And okay. So
they have to be able to go out and get a loan for that amount. I mean,
right.
you need a pre-approval at that point because that's what we're shooting for.
That's what we're shooting for. But this is someone who's just barely starting the process,
Right.
and they're thinking about it and maybe talking to you about it.
This is where, let me interject here. This is where you're talking to somebody and they tell you, you say, well, how much are you spending in rent? Well, I spend, you know, $1,200, or I'm leasing a house for $1,400 a month. Okay, well, did you realize that for $1,400 a month, you could buy $100,000 or $213,000 home?
Right, and let me show you.
Yeah, and let me show you. Let me show you the breakdown.
Right,
And then put them in a down payment.
Down payment
and
changes too. You can put that in there as well. You can change that.
And a lot of times when you're talking to somebody, you know, some of the dialogue that you're going to have when they're asking information about buying a house, it's like, okay, you haven't even met with them yet. And the question that you're going to ask them is not what do you want to spend, how much are you spending currently for your monthly rent or where you're at? okay, $1,000 a month. Are you comfortable with that? Or would you be interested in increasing it? Could you go up to 1,400 or 1,500 a month? And at that point, that says, okay, well, then we could probably look in this price range. However, you're still going to need to meet with a lender and get pre-approved.
Get pre-approved and see, what it is. If there's some things you need to work on,
Right.
da, da, da. Because I know at the closing table, I have seen where we're cutting checks to the credit card company because that's a part of the lender's requirements.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
And you can add if you want to, on one of these calculators, you can like add all their bills in so they can get a better picture as well.
Yeah, I mean, I hate doing that, but if you're working with somebody who is nervous about meeting with a lender, if they need to have a little bit of an idea, you being able to give them some information, and it's like, okay, so now you're comfortable with the numbers that I'm giving you, but we really need to get a lender and get you a pre-approval letter because, nobody's going to let you look at their house without it.
Because they're going to feel like you're wasting their time.
Right.
And
right.
so yeah, this is, and again, you can always share. Look at that.
Oh, pretty.
I love
Really
that.
nice handouts you can share. And of course, like I said, all your information will be on here. So this is something I would do, is share to social media.
Yes.
This is something you could do a little ad for on Facebook, a little $10 ad, select your targets, people with the fit in those categories, and start sending this out to people. I mean, $1 a month and a $10 ad.
That's amazing. I love that.
It's a no-brainer.
Yes.
A no-brainer. So
Beautiful.
This is something, you could share. And I, would put this, it'd be part of my presentation all the time. I'd have that in my presentation.
Mm-hmm.
And again, refinance. Yes, I know, you don't work with them, but you could still provide that tool. You could still be that resource. I've, talked to some realtors, and what she was telling me, she's like, I'm just too honest, because she had people reaching out to her saying, we want to sell our house because we want a pool, da, da, da. And she told them, why don't you refinance?
Mm-hmm.
Refinance your house, and you can get a pool put in. And that's what they did. But she's going to be at the top of their mind, though, for whoever they ask next time, do you know a good realtor?
Exactly.
So they have, these in here, these refinance tools. And I mean, it's just, it goes on and on and on. And you want to be the one that, like at the end of the day, that they're remembering, because you have provided so much good content. This is what I'm really excited about. They've got videos they've created for you guys now as well. So, that was for winter. Do they have them? Yeah, it is a volume, But your picture will be on there. So, and then you can share right from there. Copy the caption. They got all the hashtags in there for you. One and done.
That's fantastic. For $1 a month.
For $1 a month or $10 a year.
Right.
So yes,
That's $10 I'm going to spend.
That's $10 you're going to spend. Again,
Reason,
considering upgrading,
yeah.
that's another one. So I really love that they've done that. And of course, all the infographics that they have on here. They're just, changing the game. And they partner with Breakthrough Broker too. So they're all working together, collaboration hand in hand, because they all understand realtor struggles. So, and they know affordability and quality is top of the list, and ease. No one wants to be sitting there all day trying to figure out how to use this stuff. You don't have time for that.
Right?
You all get what I've been harping on that other closing sheet, that other with TAR or HAR, and now you all understand why I like this so much more.
It feels low.
Much better.
Mm-hmm. I need to go on there and look at that and see how it looks. Is it very complicated?
Well, I just don't like the way it looks. I don't know. I mean, there's just something about
It's overwhelming looking.
Yeah, and you have to
Okay.
you've got to get too much information to put in there. I mean, I'm all about the no-brainers. Like Lisette always used to say, work smarter, not harder.
I work smarter, not harder. That's my logo. That's my motto. And then it's just something you can do right from your phone.
Yes.
On all your devices, your phone, your tablet, your desktop, whatever.
And you know what? If you're showing a house and somebody's like, oh, well, I'm not sure, they're just but they love the house. It's like, okay, wait a minute. Let's go ahead and run some numbers real quick and see if this one is a consideration for you. Or say you found something that might be a little bit higher in their price, than what they wanted to spend. Okay, so this one ran the numbers. It's only $7 a month more. And, so it just really, it makes you're the professional. It makes you look like the expert, because you are.
Reload my page.
You're smart enough to spend this $10 a year.
Yeah. I'll reload the page. I don't know what's taking it so long, but again, they said this is their biggest update that they've had.
Fabulous.
In 10 years. So the last one they did, I thought they couldn't top that, but they've just really.
Man, I can't get over. I mean, that's just, I haven't played with it in a couple of months, and it just seems like they've done a whole bunch.
They've done a whole bunch. Well, I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi got strong signal over here. Why it's not loading, but if you're all looking for content, it's all there in the premium tab. They've got all those flyers, handouts, just different kind of worksheets, infographics. Go back over here. Must not have liked that one I clicked on.
I've been getting a lot of that too. Here we go.
All your flyers right here. Well, so many people are home working, putting these internets, putting it to the test. And they've already got them all ready for which social media platform. So again, no brainer.
Fabulous.
And I love how they did the stories. I really love how they did the ones for the stories. So let me click on one. Instagram story, Facebook stories. It's multiple. See? And looks like you have done. You're just a social media genius. And so different, yes, you're a social media guru, and it has the different parts. And again, you just share it from here, copy the caption, the hashtags, share it in your story. And then all your little slides where it's going to pop up. You know how I follow the CDC and in their stories, they have, multiple slides as well. And so this is 1, 2, 3.
Man.
And then your picture, your pretty faces will be on there. So, and it's for Instagram and Facebook. Can't go wrong. You can't. You can't go wrong. They've taken the guess out of everything. They've got everything prepared for you. Don't even have to worry about it. So do y'all have any questions? Is there anything else that you would like to see on here? Because there's so much in here. I mean, we could be on here all day. So,
So how do you get in there? How do you subscribe?
I will send you the link.
Oh, okay.
I will send you the link for mine, because it's going to have the Friendswood office, all our fees and our rates and everything in there. So I'll send you all the link for that. And you just go in. It'll ask you to, and if you're Android, your Google Store, you'll just do your $10. And your iPhone, you do your, iPay, same thing. And that's it. You're done.
And then once a year, they let you know that you have to
renew.
Yeah.
Renew. And it used to be free, but I think they got in trouble and they had to, they had to charge something for it. So they're always, you have tutorials.
This stuff is worth more than $1 a month.
Worth much more than $1 a month. You can chat. They're very responsive. Very responsive. If you have an issue, a problem,
Yeah.
they're gonna, trying to find my other one. One of my little favorite ones is the Nearby. Let's see. My Nearby. It's also a little nifty thing to have for your open house. I'll see. They've got these two. I wonder where they moved it to. And upsizing is the thing now.
Mm-hmm.
People are going bigger because more people are at home. There are multi-generations under the roof now. So they're all talking about that. Upsizing, upsizing, upsizing. Let's see. Top reasons for more space. Here's a buy versus rent home buyer checklist. Oh, this is a good one. Misconceptions regarding value. Fake news. And this is where you can, put in maybe on your listing appointment, their address in here, and it'll calculate all these numbers for them. So that's something that you can, again, have in your presentation. Rent is on the rise. What is that? Monthly? Oh, there's all your monthly affordability. Still, is this the one I'm looking for? 7 reasons not to sell. They've got so much stuff in here.
This is wonderful.
The iBuyer one. Are y'all running into issues dealing with people saying, I don't know, I saw this on TV?
Mm-hmm.
This is also another fantastic one. So if you're talking to someone, they're like, oh no, I saw an ad. They said no commission. And you go, oh, okay, well, let me show you something. So we'll say their loan balance is $175,000. And whatever the, offer price is 94% of the market price. They're also skewing the numbers too, because they lie. Let's see. Maybe they're offer prices. 300,000. What am I missing up here? Oh, here we go.
Yeah, because on those iBuyers, they typically come in 15 to 20% below the actual appraised value or what.
Leave some money on the table.
Right.
Absolutely. So again, that was just a number I was throwing out there.
Yeah.
They're usually much lower.
Yeah.
But once you put the numbers in, you can see it right there. It generates them. Open market, iBuyer. Yeah, that's your commission. They say they don't have a commission, but then they have all these fees that they don't tell you about.
About 7%.
And then you can show them right there. And that's, you know, part of our job is to educate the consumers and let them know. So this is something you can whip out right away from them. And nearby. So does anyone have like a listing right now or an address? I'm going to put in here so I can just show you really quick.
Maria, do it on yours. Can't hear you.
Oh, she's on mute.
Can you unmute? Unmute. Is it 518 Castle Lake? Hang on a minute, let me look it up. I can't.
Oh, wait, Maria, I didn't hear you.
I think she's saying 510. 510? Yeah, 510.
Okay. 510 Castle Lake Drive. Is that it?
510 Castle Lake Drive, yes.
Okay. So again, you can see it's already pulled the property tax on there.
Yeah, we know that's wrong.
Is that wrong? Oh, so again, thank God you can go in here and change it. And you know, if there's an HOA or anything, you can add that in there. I'm pretty sure it is. Do we happen to know what it is? And the sales price.
Like $65 a year.
Okay. And what's their sales price?
Say 215. That's still too high, but
And it's 65.
yeah, I'm not sure on it.
Okay. So you can see it's going to pull all this information. Let's see, can I enlarge it for you? So the price, you see this right here? They got the nearest grocery store, gas, gym, Starbucks, parks, dog park. The schools, it pulls the schools for you, gives the ratings, restaurants, it gives them internet speed providers.
Wow.
And you say, okay, well, they don't really care about any of this. You can say, well, they don't care about Starbucks. You know, maybe they care about golf courses.
Right.
You can change any of them. It's a max of 6. You can change that. You know, maybe they need to go to a pharmacy or
Right.
something. So you can take off what you don't want, put it on there and update it, and it will change all this on here. It'll think about it, but it's going to change it. And so, this is, you know, if you have an open house or if you have some, you can have these right there
That's awesome.
to hand out.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, different ones.
And then you just save the information on store it and then take it to the printer?
Yeah, you can send it. You can share it. You can download it, print, share it to Facebook, whatever you want to do. Email it. So maybe you don't have, maybe you don't print them out. Maybe it was so much going on, you're going to get a chance. Well, you get everybody to sign in, leave their email address. You can shoot that all to your open house people. Or
great idea. Another way to touch base with somebody, to reach out and touch them.
and you can remind them. And then I think you remember on Breakthrough Broker, they had that neat open house comparison. Your information on there. So if they went to multiple open houses, this is just another way to reinforce and another touch for them. And they've just added LinkedIn on here because LinkedIn wasn't on here before. And again, copy the caption, share it right to social media. One and done. And this is for whatever property. And they have several different ones. This one right here, you can actually put the picture of the property up here.
Nice.
And this is worth $1 altogether, right?
Really nice.
So, really nice. So again, I will send out the link to you guys. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'm more than happy to, explain more things for you. And you just have to get in there, play with it and use it.
And what's nice too is if you're doing an open house on somebody else's listing, you can, this is not specific to the listing agent. You can do it for yourself.
Right.
And so there's a lot of uses here, a lot of uses.
That's right. So any other questions?
Looks great.
Great.
Beautiful, beautiful.
If you got, I'm going to, let me share my screen with you and do this. I need you to
I'll stop sharing. Yeah.
and play this video for you. And like I said, this will be about 12 minutes. There's actually 2 videos I wanted to show you. Where are we at here? Because I want to talk about showing houses as well.
Okay.
No, I've got so many things going here.
That's me. Windows open all the time.
Terrible. Okay, maybe it's up here. Okay. Does anybody see the YouTube tab up here? Oh, wait, right here. Okay. So this is strictly motivational. And I think that, I hope you all feel that you enjoy it as much as I do.
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Now, I'm sure in your experiences in school and applying to college and picking your major and deciding what you want to do with life, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Without consistency, you'll never finish. So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb. Fall forward. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks, and I'm sure you've probably heard that before, but I want to talk to you about why that's so important. You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it. And I know that's probably not a traditional message for a graduation ceremony, but hey, I'm telling you, embrace it, because it's inevitable. In the acting business, you fail all the time. Early on in my career, I auditioned for a part in a Broadway musical. Perfect role for me, I thought, except for the fact that I can't sing. I didn't get the job. But here's the thing. I didn't quit. I didn't fall back. I walked out of there to prepare for the next audition, and the next audition, and the next audition. I prayed. I prayed. And I prayed. But I continued to fail, and fail, and fail. But it didn't matter, because you know what? There's an old saying, you hang around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later you're going to get a haircut. So you will catch a break, and I did catch a break. Last year, I did a play called Fences on Broadway. But here's the kicker. It was at the Court Theater. It was at the same theater that I failed that first audition 30 years prior. The point is, every graduate here today has the training and the talent to succeed. But do you have the guts to fail? If you don't fail, you're not even trying. I'll say it again. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. So imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghost of the ideas you never acted on. The ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes? I just got back from South Africa. It's a beautiful country, but there are places there with terrible poverty that need help. And Africa is just the tip of the iceberg. The Middle East needs your help. Japan needs your help. Alabama needs your help. Tennessee needs your help. Louisiana needs your help. Philadelphia needs your help. The world needs a lot, and we need it from you. We really do. We need it from you young people. I mean, I'm not speaking for the rest of us up here, but I know I'm getting a little grayer. We need it from you, the young people, because remember this. You got to get out there. You got to give it everything you got, whether it's your time, your talent, your prayers, or your treasures. What are you going to do with what you have? I'm not talking about how much you have. Some of you are business majors. Some of you are theologians, nurses, sociologists. Some of you have money. Some of you have patience. Some of you have kindness. Some of you have love. Some of you have the gift of long suffering. Whatever it is, whatever your gift is, what are you going to do with what you have? All right, now here's my last point about failure. Sometimes it's the best way to figure out where you're going. Your life will never be a straight path. I began at Fordham University as a pre-med student. I took a course called cardiac morphogenesis. I couldn't read it, I couldn't say it, I sure couldn't pass it. So then I decided to go into pre-law, then journalism. And with no academic focus, my grades took off in their own direction. I was a 1.8 GPA, and the university very politely suggested that it might be better to take some time off. I was 20 years old, I was at my lowest point. And then one day, and I remember the exact day, March 27th, 1975, I was helping my mother in her beauty shop. My mother owned a beauty shop up in Mount Vernon. And there was this older woman who was considered one of the elders in the town. And I didn't know her personally, but I was looking in the mirror. And every time I looked in the mirror, I could see her behind me, and she was staring at me. She just kept looking at me. Every time I looked at her, she kept giving me these strange looks. So she finally took the dryer off her head and she said something I'll never forget. She said, "Young boy, I have a prophecy, a spiritual prophecy." She said, "You are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people." And in the years that followed, just as that woman prophesied, I have traveled the world and I have spoken to millions of people through my movies. Millions who up till this day couldn't see me, who up till this day I couldn't see while I was talking to them, and they couldn't see me, they could only see the movie. They couldn't see the real me. But I see you today, and I'm encouraged by what I see, and I'm strengthened by what I see. Because taking risk is not just about going for a job. It's also about knowing what you know and what you don't know. It's about being open to people and to ideas. The chances you take, the people you meet, the people you love, the faith that you have, that's what's going to define you. Never be discouraged. Never hold back. Give everything you got. And when you fall throughout life, remember this: fall forward.
I don't know about you guys, but I can see how that applies to everybody in every day of our life and every second. And I can see where it can apply to the world of real estate and you know, it's crazy, but it actually makes me a little bit, I just feel like it's so motivational, and I feel like we could all really take this and remember that just the thought of his comment regarding the fall forward and his comment about being on your deathbed and the ghosts being around you of the things that you didn't accomplish or the things that you were afraid to do. I mean, doesn't that hit home? And don't ever be afraid to fail. I mean, you go on a listing appointment and you don't get that listing. Okay, yeah, it hurts, and yeah, it makes you angry, but look at all these other people, how they failed, and look at the difference. A listing appointment versus, what was it, 2,600 strikeouts? You know, I mean, holy moly. So never be afraid to get out there and ask for the business. Don't be a secret agent. Just, you know, you can do it. Just be passionate about it. You have to have that passion. And when you have that passion, that comes out of you, and people see that, people feel it. And that's why people want to do business with you, because they know that you care and they know you're passionate about doing a good job. Anyway, okay, we've got another video on showing a house. And do you all want to, we've been at this for quite a while today. And so do you all have time to watch the other video on showing a house?
Well, I'm going to
Sure.
jump off.
Okay, Tracy, thank you.
I have another, I'm teaching again at 12:30. So thank you, ladies, so much. I'll send you all the link. Thank you for sharing that video. That was wonderful.
I'm glad you liked it. Thank you.
Hope to see y'all
Thank you.
soon. You're welcome.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
see you later. Bye-bye. Do you all want to watch the video this week, or you want to look at it next week and talk about it? Because
We can watch it.
okay, because we're really going to start working on showing houses and working with, working with clients. And this one here is kind of funny. I hope I can get the right one here. This one is
Diane, can I go to the bathroom really quick? Though?
absolutely, because
Okay.
yes, Jessica, you go to the bathroom. Where the heck is it? Okay, bear with me here. This video is actually a guy in a trailer. And so the first time I saw it, I thought, as it started, I thought, oh my God, this is ridiculous, a trailer, come on. But he had some really good points. So I thought it would be beneficial for us to watch it and just get an idea. So we'll give it just a second here for Jessica to get back, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'll play it. But what did you think of that video, that motivational video?
It was
It's
great.
very good. Yes.
I mean, it just, I don't know. It
Can't be
really,
afraid to fail. You can't be afraid to fail.
absolutely. And I'm telling you, every time I watch it, it chokes me up. And even just now, just talking about it. Okay, I'm going to forward this a little bit.
Properties. How do you analyze and evaluate properties?
We don't need to worry
The
about that.
hill, head up to Atascadero. We actually have a property we're going to be previewing for a client. And at the same time, I'll kind of do the walkthrough of what to look for, the etiquette of showing property. Maybe you have a buyer with you. Get together. Hey guys, now we're here at 9188 Ash Street. So I wanted to walk you through a couple things to be prepared when taking a buyer out to a property. So if this is your first time doing this, it's good to kind of do a little bit of practice before you have your buyer with you. But ultimately, when you come to a property, bring your MLS camera card. Always have this with you. This has showing instructions on it. It has details regarding agent remarks that ultimately the listing agent is trying to express to you, so you have some more information about the property. So checklist number 1, bring your MLS camera card. Checklist number 2, make sure that your phone is charged and ready to go, because ultimately you want to have your app on your phone. And the app is what's going to control the lockbox. So if you don't know how to open a lockbox with your app, go down to the Pismo board, talk to one of the staff members, but ultimately make sure you know how to do this, so when you're on site, you're not fumbling around, not able to get access to the property. Your backup.
So for us, I'm going to say, I like the fact that he mentioned the MLS sheet, and I like the fact that he's talking about his phone, because even though it's not our first time showing, what's important is that we look at our phones and we be sure that that app is updated. Do you all agree?
Yeah, I don't have it yet, but I will.
Okay, and nothing is worse than getting to the front door, and I've done this to where I look down and it's like, oh crap, I got to update the app before I can access the lockbox. How embarrassing. I mean, I just, I didn't feel like the professional I should be.
That can be your camera card or that little card, or you can always reach out to the listing agent, ask for a 1-day code. Keep in mind, if you're searching Pismo Coast, so everything from Napomo to Paso Robles, and you're part of the matrix, you're covered. But the moment you cross over that bridge and you go to Santa Maria, you need to be a member of the Santa Maria board, or else you will not have access to those lockbox. Camera card's going to show me that the lockbox is right over there in the corner. So I've already gotten the key. Why don't we now take a walk inside on this property? So today we're going to be viewing 9188 Ash Street. Now, what's nice about this is I looked on the camera card, and right here, showing instructions, it shows that the property is vacant. So I did not need to call, even though I'm the listing agent. Ultimately, if it's a vacant home, it told me just go and show. I don't need to book an appointment. I could just show up anytime and walk the property. So as a new agent, I would say that's a good place to start. Check out vacant homes. Now, let's assume this is the first time you're doing this. Even though the property says vacant, we're going to knock regardless, just because you don't know for a fact, maybe they moved the tenant in from the time that they put this on. So give it a sec. No one shows up. Put the key in the lock, obviously. Keep the key in the lock. Don't take it and put it in your pocket. You'll start showing a lot of properties and things will start becoming patterns. And ultimately, there's a good chance you'll drive away with the key in your pocket and forget to put it back in the lockbox. Happens all the time. By keeping it in here, turn it a little bit, because that key is not coming out. If the wind blows this door shut, the key's not flying across the yard, and now you're looking for a key. But this, I know the key is here every time, and it's a reminder of when I start locking the property up, what are the steps. So I enter into the property, knock, knock, Hubble Real Estate, Dave Hubble, Hubble Real Estate. Announce yourself. Vacant, not vacant, doesn't matter. Announce yourself. Anytime you see a door that's shut, you're knocking on that one. So I walk over to the bedroom door is shut. I'm going to knock on it before I walk in as well. So now that I'm inside the house, I got to come up with an idea of how I'm going to tour this property. Based on my client.
Okay, I just got to say something here. I think that him pointing out about knocking on the doors and opening it and yelling realtor is real important. And as well as when you're in the house, when you see a door that's closed, knocking on it. Been there, done that, and actually had an agent one time, didn't knock on the door and she walked in on somebody in the toilet.
Oh,
You don't want to walk in on somebody while they're on the toilet.
If they're talking about they love living rooms or outside living or anything, that's probably going to be the first place I take them, start there, and then work my way in. In this case, it's a very open floor plan. So I probably walk in, I'd greet my client and be like, hey, come on in, welcome home. What do you think? Beautiful home. I'd go around and I'd start turning lights on, making sure. So if my client's outside fiddling around in the car, I'm going to rush in, get the house all prepared, turn it on. I might even show up 10 minutes before my client gets here to get the house ready to go. But I always meet him at the front door. Hey guys, welcome. Come on in. Welcome home. Boom. Invite them into the house. I already have it in my head how I'm going to walk this property because I'm going to be showing them. It is not a free-for-all. Welcome to the house. Go check it out. Tell me what you think about it. Let me know. No, you're going to be previewing it with them. And as you're walking and talking with them, you know, here's a kitchen. Imagine yourself doing a formal entertaining. This is plenty of room. You put a little kitchen island here. You know, the quality of construction, I'm looking around. I don't see any defects. I'm talking to them about furniture. Hey, possibly maybe the refrigerator or something we can negotiate. Let's check out this master bedroom. Coming in here, again, making sure lights are on. I notice the bathroom light's not on. I'm gonna flip that on real quick, maybe as I talk to them. Good size square footage, beautiful new construction. Maybe start asking them questions. What do you think? On a scale to 1 to 10, where do you see yourself with this property? If based on their answer, if they're like, I'm a 7, 8, 9, then take some time with this property. If they're like, Dave, I can already tell this is a 2, hey, no problem. Every home isn't for everybody, but let's take a look at it. Why do you say that? Start engaging with them. If they're just like, this is a 2, this is a 2, ultimately it's a waste. Let's jump to the next property. Make sure you put your business card down on the countertop. As I leave, reach out at the end of the day, do feedback to the listing agent. But again, things that I'm looking for, if they're like a 7 or 8, I'm just double checking. I see smoke detectors, no stains in the carpets. I don't see any defects. I'm just kind of keeping an eye out. Everything looks pretty good here, except one thing, I didn't turn the light on. Boom, turn the light on. Again, there's no light in here. Bathrooms look good. Once we're done on the inside, we'll start going out to the backyard. Now, again, if I got here early and the backyard was the selling feature, that was like everybody wants outdoor living and this backyard was just, it popped, I would probably start in the backyard and work my way in. But for this, I'd come out. Obviously, I can tell air conditioning is going to be a good selling point. The fact that this is on owned land, a good sized lot, it's kind of a clean slate. You could pretty much put your old backyard in, maybe a fire.
Okay, so what I like here is, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, how he's making these points. And the first point, him saying that if the backyard was a major selling feature, he would start there. That's a great idea. If you know that your client really wants a big backyard or something special, it's like, okay, guys, let's go check out the backyard first, because I know that's what interests you. And, you know, this place is phenomenal because you already know, you've already checked it out. You've already looked at the pictures. You know what's in the backyard and you want to go there and you want them to be wowed. You want them to really bond with the property right away. On the inside of the property, when you're showing the property, like he said, especially for the first house, if you can get there a little early, 10 minutes early, go in there, turn on all the lights, get everything ready for the showing, be sure the blinds are opened. You want the house, you want to make that first impression. So making, you know, you're a first impression with the house, but you're also a first impression with yourself. So even if you get to the next house and you don't get there before them, you can still turn the lights on as you're in the house, and it'll roll over that you've already had the lights on. It's all kind of a psychological, making people feel comfortable. The other thing you're going to notice is that when you're showing people in kitchens or in bathrooms or in bedrooms where they're always a little bit shy about opening up cabinet doors, and they always have a tendency to whisper when it's real quiet in the house. So if you can take it and make them more comfortable, that's what you need to do so that they can immediately start bonding with the property and make themselves feel like they're there at home. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Very good.
Thanks.
Pit, some landscaping, kind of have it mapped out in your head of how you would arrange your furniture. When we come over here, another big selling feature, detached 2-car garage. So that's a nice feature for this neighborhood, is to have enough room for 2 cars. So I want to make sure I highlight that when I'm talking with a buyer.
The other thing, just hit me. The one thing that he said too is that when the people come in the house, it's not a free-for-all. And that's true. That's so very, very true. And remember that nowadays, you don't know. They could be recording you. So you don't want to let people walk in the door and let them just kind of go willy-nilly or just wherever they want to go. You want to show the property, because the people that are watching you, if the house doesn't sell, they may be calling you to sell it because you did such a good job presenting their property. So there's all kinds of things involved here that you have to remember as the showing agent. And then once people look at the house, or once you go through the house with them and you've pointed out some positive points, then you can kind of, if they want to go look at something again, then you can kind of go with the person that that you feel is having, either go with the person that's already become attached or go with the person that needs to be convinced because you know the other person's already been attached, so that you can help them overcome their objections.
So after all said and done, it should be 15-20 minutes tops at a showing. When you're scheduling your showings, you want to give yourself enough drive time to the next property. But 15-20 minutes, you ask them, is there anything else you'd like to see inside before we preview the next property? If they're like, nope, we got it, jot down some notes about what they loved about this property, jot down some things that they didn't like about the property. But ultimately, we're looking for that 8 or 9. Someone that says it's an 8 or 9, we should be talking to them about finance, about ways that they can get into this property. Why don't we go back to the office and throw an offer out at them to see if we can put some terms together to get you to that 10. Very rarely will you find someone that's just like, oh my God, this is a 10. There's always something that is a concern, but with that concern, typically the dollar amount that they pay for it can fix that. So maybe if they're like, oh, I can't see where I would put a kitchen table. Well, for under $1,000, we can get a nice kitchen island right here, a little bar stool, some kitchen island, and this can now become a nice place that you can have breakfast in the morning with the family. So we just turned a negative to a positive. Why don't we take a sec and just kind of view this property a little bit, take it all in. This particular property was staged by our very own agent, Melissa Layshot. So a nice shout out to her. She did a wonderful job putting this all together. This is some of her private pieces that she has on file, just on stock in her storage for the property she gets. And then some highlights with this property, because it is on owned land and the year, traditional financing is available.
Okay, so the rest of this is kind of about mobile homes, and we don't really want to go there. But tell me, I want your opinion here. Do you all feel like, does this kind of all ring a bell with you? Let me see, stop share. Okay, here we go.
It's good to be reminded of everything.
I think so too.
This is like what we always do, but it's good to be reminded.
Exactly. Because I feel like sometimes when you're showing property, it gets a little overwhelming, especially if you've got maybe 5 properties to show or more. If you're showing all of that at one time, it can kind of, you know, you get a little bit kind of, I don't know, just kind of on edge because you've got all these properties, you've got these allotted times to go, and you're trying to do so many different things. You're multitasking with so much stuff. But I think that if you can get a system down, it will help relax you a little bit. And then you're pretty much consistent on each property. But I think what's important too is that when you're showing a property that you have researched it prior to, or at least the property that you've looked at them and you're kind of like, this is the one I know they're really going to like. So you get to know a little bit of inside skinny on that property. You know, just if you can figure out what builder it is or whatever, or when you're in the house, kind of nonchalantly walk over and look in a couple of drawers and look at who made where the cabinets came from, and then you can make a comment about that if it's one of the better cabinet makers or something. So you're constantly looking for things, positive points that you can make to them. And just like if you walk into a property and, you know, I call myself the foundation whisperer. If I walk into a property and it's like I get vertigo for whatever reason, only in heels. If I don't have shoes on, I don't get it. But I can tell if the foundation is messed up. So I'll walk in and I'll start to get a little bit, you know, kind of weird. And I'll go, hang on a minute, guys, let me go check on something. I'll walk around and then I'll kind of like, hey, I need to let y'all know. And then I'll show them where the foundation is starting to give way. So because I know that this is going to be an important fact, but then I can also take it and turn it into a positive. Well, shoot, hey, we can ask for them to come in and do some repairs, get an engineer out here, and then it's going to be better than new. So, you know, getting to know the property and knowing how to overcome those objections, it's just second nature.
Sure.
Agreed?
Makes sense.
I'll let you borrow my high heels if you want to feel the foundation.
You have the special heels for that?
And honestly, they've got to be 4 or 5 inch. Anything under that, I don't feel it. It's weird. It's so strange, but I'm always right on target. Always. I mean, I can always go outside and I can always find where the house is starting to separate. It's crazy. It's so strange. But I'm strange, so you know that, and I know that, and that's half the, that's half the thing there. Once you know that you're weird, it's okay. Does anybody have any other inside points, something that we may have overlooked that
I guess the new thing is that they could be recording you. So that's something new.
Yes.
Well, you need to tell them not to show their excitement if we're being recorded, because you don't want the seller to have, the advantage.
Yes. And let me tell you.
Both ways.
Yes.
You don't want to say negative.
Exactly. But okay, so with that, Now, it works to your advantage sometimes, okay? So you have this discussion with your client before you enter into the house, and do it before you walk up to the house, because the one thing we don't think about, ring doorbells and
Right.
outside, they can hear everything that you're saying. So you discuss that when they go in. Sometimes that kind of negative, not negative, but that comment that would make it a little bit a negotiating factor doesn't hurt to make, especially if they're interested in the property. So, like if the buyer says, well, this place really doesn't look like it's been updated, but I like the floor plan. That's a great thing for the seller to hear.
Right.
Because if they're going to make an offer on it, they know why they're coming in with the offer that they're.
Right.
So you've got, yes, and your comment is exactly right, both of you. Prepping your client before you enter into the house is going to work to your advantage, but you want to be sure that you make it to the advantage and not to the negative.
Right.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. And FYI, it is against the law for them to record the voice. Do they do it? Yes. Absolutely. Is there anything we can do about it? I'm sure if you want to waste the time doing it, but I don't know of anybody that really wants to waste time doing it. So just remember that they can hear you, they can be recording the whole thing. I guess if they come back and they try to hold it against you, yeah, I mean, that's when it's nice to know that what they did was illegal. But yeah, it kind of bothers me that we're being watched. It's like no longer Big Brother, it's the whole freaking world that's watching you.
It's like baby monitors
Yes. Oh,
everywhere. Would you know that they're there?
yes. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. Anybody else with any other comments on any part of it? Lisa, are you sitting in your car?
My phone messed up and I couldn't get so I ran to Verizon. They fixed my phone and then I just brought my laptop.
Bless your
I
heart.
don't want to leave.
You've had been a crazy day already, huh? Okay, so can you think of anything else that when you're showing a house? Oh, you know what else I saw in there as a listing agent? And we're going to go over this too, as far as staging a house. Yeah, there's the staging, but then there's also the warm fuzzy from the real estate agent to the other agent and to the buyers that, we're glad that you're here. So did you notice the bottle of water and the little plant and stuff right there where he said to lay your card down? So if you have like even a little container that people can put their cards in, the agents can leave their cards, or the bottled water. What's really nice is I'm trying to remember how we did it. We did it through Canva. You can actually make the water bottle labels if you want to make them and personalize them. Because again, and I hate to say this, but again, they're walking out with a water bottle that's got your name and your face on it, and they're being reminded of your property. So you want as much as possible for them to remind them about you and your property.
And sometimes you can put a picture of the house on there too.
Yes, exactly.
The showing agent may not like that.
But the thing is, to me, they're thinking about it in the wrong way, because
True.
It's extending a warm fuzzy to them. It's like, hey, thanks for showing the property. Take a bottle of water. I want to do whatever I can to make this an easy transaction for you. So, it's just trying to put that hand out there to shake their hand, and the warm fuzzies being exchanged.
Maybe they'll feel more comfortable calling you too to ask you stuff about the property because you've already.
Exactly. That's a good way of putting it. That's exactly the words I was looking for, because I know that there's been times where there's agents out there that I've shown their house and I'm thinking, oh, good Lord, if I have to ask them a question, I'm not looking forward to it. You don't want to text them. You don't want to call them, because you know that they're kind of horsey, and you know that you probably won't get them, or you know that they're going to snap at you or whatever. So yes, extending that nice little thing to that comfort zone there is what it's all about. So we're extending it to the buyer, we're extending it to the agent, we're establishing a nice relationship from the get-go.
True.
Okay. Anybody else? Nope. Lisa's thinking there. I can see her thinking.
Well, but I mean, like when you do an open house, for some reason, cinnamon apple is like the best smell that you can put if you got a little candle burner for an open house. I don't know.
Yes, exactly. And we're going to go over the open houses in one of our meetings, and I think that you're going to be really impressed at some of the ideas that we've used. And, I know that Jessica actually got a client off of an open house because the open house was so nice. And they'd never seen anything that nice and that inviting, and again, and it was all prepping. It's like that agent, you meet people at the front door, you're hosting, you're hostessing, you are in that position. It's like you're inviting somebody into your own home, whether you're showing it or doing an open house. So you want to treat people with the respect that they deserve. You want to treat the property with the respect that it deserves. So, so we'll get into all of that a little bit more in depth without all of that as well. Yeah. All right. Well, listen, I thoroughly enjoyed visiting with you all today. I hope that you enjoyed the information.
It was good, all good.
Good deal. And listen, I've got I'll have to look on the calendar. I'll let you all know. I've got a loan officer that's going to join us for a couple of meetings. He actually, can't remember what coach he works with, but he works with a coach, and he's actually going to bring to you a couple of his coaching sessions. So you're getting them for free. He's paying for them. Woohoo! I like that.
Good deal.
Yeah. So we're going to have that coming up as well. I'm looking forward to that too. Also, just as an FYI, I think Jessica was here earlier. In February, well, I don't know exactly when, I've been contacted by Friends with Development. I will be doing a contract class for them. It'll be Contract 101. So it'll be a complete review of the 1 to 4, and it'll be the new 1 to 4. So just, they probably won't get emailed to you guys because they're focused in Baytown, on the Baytown agents and the, Fulshire and Katy and all of that place. So, but when I get the notice as to the date, I'll let you guys know. If you can go ahead and if you want to attend the class, I'll get you in. And so that'll be, that'll be the 3 hours of mandatory contracts that you'll need for MCE.
Good.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you. I enjoyed it so much. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you feel like you got something out of it because me.
Yeah, it's always good to be reminded.
I think so.
Of the things we know, but it's good to go over them.
Yeah. And every once in a while, I kind of need that little bit of an attitude adjustment, just you just like, because I have a tendency when I'm working with or if I'm showing somebody a lot of houses, I have a tendency to get a little bit irritated because it's like, good grief, can't you just pick one out? So I need that little reel back in and say, okay, remember this is a big investment, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Right.
So I enjoy it as well. But anyhow, okay, guys, I will see you all next week. You have a this week. And like Denzel says, fall forward, don't fall backward.
That's good.
All right. Talk to you later. Have a great one.
You too.